Welcome in, guys. Give me just a minute as I finish getting set up here. Hey, Miss Desiree. Welcome in. All right. It's been a while since I've done this, so I'm trying to figure out how to orientation is locked. All right, give me just a second, guys. Hello, Miss Deneen. Hello, Colleen. Hello, Miss Haley. Do you guys know, hey, Ray, how to I don't want to flip the camera. I want to rotate it. It's been a minute. Hey, Nancy. Welcome in, guys. I just want to... It says orientation is locked. Rotate device back. Usually keep my phone the same way. But if I do it... I don't think you guys will be able to... You won't be able to see it well if I keep it the other way. I don't know. Well, I guess we'll have to. Sorry about that, guys. We'll turn it this way. You guys will have to help me out. Because I'm recording overhead. So, you see when I do it like this, you're not going to be able to see my full table. Yeah, but my concern is because this is a bigger folio. I want you guys to be able to see what I'm doing, but we'll try to make it work as best we can. All right. Okay. Well, thanks. Thanks, guys. I appreciate that. We'll try to make it work. All right. So for anybody watching the replay, if you want to skip ahead a little bit, um, or if you enjoy watching, a struggle, that's fine. That's fine too. So hey friends, welcome. I'm Britt from Britt Create Stuff, and today we are going to be working on a junk journal folio. It is called A Little Bit of Love. The kit and everything you need are going to be listed in the description, as well as a pinned comment. So you guys can find everything you need there. I currently don't have any freebies yet, but just finished with this a couple of days ago, and I'm sure as we go along with this make, there's no telling what inspiration may strike. So I will update you when there are some freebies to go along with it. I am filming overhead, but I have my laptop open to see the comments. So every now and again, I will look back at the comments to be sure to respond to what you guys are saying. So first off, I appreciate you guys for being here. I did a little bit of prep work the other day, so I've got all of my pockets and things are already cut out. The edges are inked and they are ready to go. And I did that just as a time saver because otherwise it would take about an hour or so to get all that done. So, and today's plan is, slow crafting, but not extremely slow crafting. So, okay. So, Deneen says, hey all, everyone, shovel out from the snow. The sun is out and it is starting to melt for us. So, I'm super excited about that. It was pretty and I love it because it's gorgeous, but I'm ready for it to be gone now. I have a suggestion I would love. Yeah, what's your suggestion, love? You did? You cut and ink too? Well, good job, Denny. Good job. All right, so does everybody have their beverage? I've got my cute little kitty mug and a cup of coffee to help stay warm. Oh, really? Did you, Deneen? We got 7. I think 7 inches was our total here, which that's more than we've got here in a long time. So not gonna complain about that. All right. I'm going to set the bigger pockets and things aside. And these that go on the front, set those aside. So the first thing we're gonna need are the 3 bases. So we have the 7x9 that has the tab on the left. Then we have the 7x9 with the tab on the right. And then there is the middle section. Yeah, it is crazy. 7 inches. Yeah. I want the birdie and mailbox full sheet. Absolutely, Nancy. I can do that. And I will put that in the freebies for you, love. Okay, so we're gonna start with our 7x9 with the tab on the left. Now, when it comes to printing, you guys can print whatever of the papers on the back of these that you want to. Because when it comes to printing, there are certain things that are customizable and you can print it anyway that you would like. Hello, Randy. Welcome in. Happy Sunday. Oh, thank you, Denise. I love it too. So we are going to glue, or you could use your double-sided tape, whatever suits your fancy. I'm going to use my trusty glue. And I'm going to glue all along this tab. And then on your middle section, it doesn't matter whichever one you want to show on the reverse side and in the middle. So this one I'm going to flip around just because I want this pretty pattern in the middle. And then I'm just going to line up all along the edge there where we glued on that tab. Get my phone folder. I'm just going to want to make sure that that is secure. Happy Sunday to you and everyone. Hope everyone is doing well. I am doing wonderful, and I hope you are as well, love. Thank you. Okay, so now we are going to get the back section, and then we're going to do the same. We're going to glue all along this tab, and then we're going to attach on the right side of the middle section. But you'll want to pay close attention so you don't get those mixed up and glued on there upside down. Now if you went with the stripes or something that is non-directional, it really doesn't matter all too much, but for these patterns they are directional. So again, lining up top to bottom. All right, so now we have the base. Okay, so both sides, they fold in on top of each other. Okay, so we've got our front, and then the middle section becomes the back, and the third section folds into the middle. Okay, so the next thing is we have the two pieces that have the tabs on the bottom. And again, you could print any of the papers included on the back. So I'm going to start with the longer piece. One is longer and one is shorter. And then you want to glue all along this bottom tab here. Oh, I thought I had enough glue in my bottle. So I hope you guys are having a fabulous Sunday. Okay, so now on the bottom of the middle section, You just want to line it up. Okay. May have to. No. Okay. I'm just folding in the sides because I want to make sure that it lays flush. So on this side it does, but on this side I may have to, I have to adjust it just a little bit. That is one thing about designing the kits. You can have something perfectly designed on screen, and then once you print it, it doesn't line up perfectly. I think it's just got something to do with from the file to the printed copy. Hello, Patricia. Welcome. We are making A Little Bit of Love folio. And of course the replay will be available later. So for those of you that are just joining in, you guys can be able to go back and watch back over what you missed. So we already put the base together. So we have our first, second, and third section. And then we've just added the fourth section. And so this flips up, okay? And then you can flip it down. All right, so that one was the longer piece. Now with our shorter piece, we are going to glue again along the tab at the bottom. Go all the way across. And I like to try to be sure to get in those corners, right? That way when you glue this down, it stays. So I'm just going to pull this up because we want it to stay directional. Okay. So this one, when folded up, this one is the correct direction. And this one, we're going to line it up at the very edge. And make sure that it's lined up. Taking the bone folder, going all the way across. Okay. So folds in, and then it folds again. All right. Guess what? You did it. That is the base of the folio. Everything else we are going to add is just the extras, the pockets, the envelopes, the journal cards, the fussy cuts, and all the fancy schmancy decorations. You love the blue paper, Patricia? Well, thank you. I do too. I think it turned out quite cute. All right. So there are different pockets, and there are all kinds of pockets. So I don't want you guys to feel like you have to fit every pocket that came with the kit in your folio. You do not have to at all. You do your folio and decorate your folio to your heart's desire. I'm just going back and forth. I just want to make sure that everything is lined up straight since we had to adjust that seam just a little bit. Okay, so one of the printables was also this longer oval with the long rectangle. And I did print on the back side of this also. I went in with the red, but you could use any of the pattern paper that comes with the kit. And there's a black line through the center, so you're going to fold at that line. And then you want to cut out that rectangle. So this is going to be our mailbox pocket. Okay. So it is shaped kind of like a mailbox. So there's a couple of different ways that you could do this. You could just glue all around the edge, and then it would be, you know, permanently glued down, but you would still have access to your pocket. If you wanted to make it magnetic to where it opens, you could do that as well. I think I am just going to glue all around the edge for mine. So I'm just going to go all the way. I'm trying to get as close to the edge as I can. Thank you, Miss Colleen. Okay. Let me get... I don't want to get glue all over my mat. So I'm just going to take my bone folder, going all the way around. And we're basically just spreading that glue. Okay. So now we have our little pocket. Randy, I use Eileen's tacky glue, and it's in the gold bottle, just the regular tacky glue. They have the fast dry or the quick dry tacky glue. I'm sure it would be great, but I think this regular tacky glue, I think it dries pretty quickly, so I don't know if I would want anything that dries any faster, because then I wouldn't be able to have a little bit of wiggle room. Could you make a gusset and have it open? Yeah, you absolutely could. Absolutely. Well, that's a good thing, right, Nancy? Can't boot yourself. Okay. So I'm going to position it to where it's about even the same amount of space at the sides as it is the top, because we have another pocket going down here at the bottom. And I think I'm going to start about here where it lines up with the bottom of the opening, and I'm going to glue all the way down, across, and then back up. That way, back behind this, it'll also be a pocket. Well, don't be doing that, girl. Don't be booting yourself. Okay. All the way across. Okay. All right. Take the bone folder, go all the way across and up. You're going rogue? Well, that's good. Go rogue. Go rogue. Okay, so this next pocket, I had it split up into 4 pieces. So you have the top and bottom flap, and then you have the flaps for the sides. Okay, and that is the red and light pink straps. And I'm going to do the top and the bottom flap first. And we're going to glue all along the tab. I'm going to turn my folio sideways so I can see a little bit better for spacing. And I just want to leave a little bit of space in between. Okay. Okay. So we are going to repeat that same step for the bottom. And I'm going to start by laying the top right underneath so I can make sure that it lays flat, and then fold the tab underneath. Okay, go scoot it this way. All right, so it is lined up. Okay, so now you have the sides. So you're going to glue those tabs. Okay. We'll fold on up. Okay. So I gotta come this way. And I'm just pulling it right till it's lined up. Okay. Now it'll be easier to line this one up without having to fold in the top or bottom flap, because this one will be right underneath that one. Okay. All right. So there we have our sides that fold in, bottom folds up, top folds down, just like so. Okay. So there's a lot that you can do with this one here. I will probably come back sometime and take one of the pretty papers and just do a solid rectangle here on the inside to cover up these tabs. But we're going to skip that at the moment and keep on working with our pockets. Okay. So turning this side over, on the inside here, let's see, in just a second, guys. Okay. Trying to get through and organize my pockets here. Well, I can't find it, so we are going to make one. And let's do like we could do one of the straps. Let's do that one. All right. So in making a pocket, The first thing you need to know is how wide your pocket needs to be. So the width of each section is 7 inches. So I don't want to go all the way up. I'm gonna go just a little above half. Take my pencil and I'm going to mark down here at the bottom. And that's going to be about the height of the pocket. Okay. So then if you have a scoring board, you want to grab your scoring board. I'll get my smaller bone folder for that. Okay. So grab my paper trimmer first. So the pocket is going to be roughly about 7 inches in width. So I'm going to trim about 1 inch off. Okay. And then I have my pencil mark here from where we marked the width of the pocket. And I'm going to cut about 1/2 inch below that mark. And that is going to give us our tab. Yes, I'm covering the birds. But that's okay. There'll be plenty of birds and stuff to look at. Okay. So I am going to score at 7 1/4 on this side, and then I'm going to score at 1/4 of an inch on the other side, and that will bring the pocket width down to 7. And then the bottom, I just scored where my pencil mark is. Okay. So now we can take and fold those in where we made our score marks. I'm going to take my scissors. I'm going to cut the corners off. Okay. That looks good, looks good. Bring this one in just. This one side, adjusting it just a little bit. Okay. So now we have our pocket. But before we glue our pocket down, we're going to ink it so it is cohesive with the rest of the folio. I'm not going to worry about making a thumb notch or anything at the top of this pocket. I'm not going to be putting anything teeny tiny in it. So anything that goes in this pocket is going to be tall enough to just pull it right out of the pocket. Okay. So now that we inked our edges, we're going to glue each tab of the pocket. How's everybody doing? You following along? You guys let me know if you need me to slow down or go back over something, okay? I don't mind a bit. Okay. And originally, I was going to put this pocket right here, but I think I will save that one. And we'll do one of our birdies so we can put some of the birdies back on. Put some of the birdies back on there. This is so fun. I needed this. Thanks for your beautiful creations, Britt. Oh, you are very welcome, love. Nancy says, doing great. So excited to play with this folio. I am glad, you guys. Thank you, Randy. I do too, Colleen. I love the shapes that I went with for this, for the pockets. It's different, you know? Okay. So, happy with that pocket going there. So, same old, same old. You're going to glue your tabs. And then you can go ahead and place your pocket down where you want it to go. Now, this next step, you do not have to do that, but I am going to. So instead of having this one large pocket, I am going to just glue kind of straight as I can get it anyway, down the middle, to divide this up into two smaller pockets. But it will still have the appeal of one pocket. Okay. Going along the edge. And down the center. Okay. So now we have one pocket here and one pocket here. And then you got your big pocket there. So if you wanted to, you could do a smaller pocket up here. Add whatever you guys would like to it. I'm going to leave this top open. So then we're going to come on over to this section here. And we're doing this section next because these smaller pockets, these pockets here, some of them, they're going to be layered here. So when we have them layered, it'll look like you can organize your mail, your love mail. I think set that one. We'll do a stripe. Okay, I like those 4. Sorry, can you show which panel, please? Okay, so when we have it all folded together, so you've got your first, your second, which is your folded in, and your third. So it's going to be your last one. I like pink, but I really want to do the blue here. So I think I'm going to do the blue, then the light pink, the stripes, and then the red. Okay. Feel free to change your mind as many times as you need until you're happy with it. Okay. So I'll keep my order. So I'm going to start with whichever one you want at the top. That's the one you're going to want to start with. Okay. Then, once you have the order, you can go ahead and start with the top. And then we're going to work our way down, and they're going to be overlapping just a little bit. Okay. So I have it positioned. Take my bone folder, and you want to move that glue around to make sure that it's laying flat. Okay. to take the last one and position it down at the bottom where I want it. And then I'm just going to take a clip here and kind of hold it in place long enough so we can figure out the positioning on how much space. Okay, so I think that's about good. So if you come down and you see the blue peeking in, okay, you just want to take it up just enough to where you don't see any space peeking through. And that's roughly about where you want your pocket. Okay. So none of that background is peeking through. Oh, you're welcome, Deneen. You are welcome. Okay. And then you're going to continue on. Hello, Miss Brandy. Welcome in, love. Happy Sunday. Even if you can't stay, I appreciate you popping in to say hello. Okay. So, there we go. Okay. I'm going to take the clips off the envelope, pocket at the bottom, and we've got that one. So I'm going to take my bone folder, and I think we may actually be able to fit one more in here. So you know what, let's go with the medium pink. And we're going to double check to make sure that there's enough space, but I think there's going to be. Yes, there is. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do bottom to top. Nancy says, ooh, love the chevron effect layering those pockets. Isn't it nice? Thank you, Haley. I'm usually not a big person that loves pink. But like I've been saying, this kit definitely has grown on me. So cutesy girly was kind of a little bit outside of my comfort zone, but I don't regret it. It turned out cute. I'm very satisfied with it. And I've been super excited to actually put the folio together. Okay. Well, if I can get the glue to the bottom. Gotta shake it. So I've also got something in the works. Not going to make an official announcement exactly yet. I will keep you guys informed as everything is polished and ready to go. But I am very, very, very excited about it. It will be a collaboration. And I am, like I said, very, very excited. Thrilled, I guess, would be a more accurate term for the next project. And I think you guys will love it just as much, if not more than I do. And the time frame, I'm thinking roughly right after Valentine's Day. But I've still got quite a few things in the works, so I will definitely keep you guys updated. It's not really a huge project, but it's gonna be longer than what our normal challenges and stuff. Colleen says, how fun, can't wait to see it. Deneen says, ooh, and Haley says, exciting. Yes, it is. It is very exciting. All right. Well, I absolutely love the way that looks. So you've got pocket, 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 and pocket. Oh. Super cute. All right, so now we've got these two sections. We've got our pockets in place. So next we have this middle section here. Once you fold down your flap, we have this here. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. I felt it. Hiccup. I felt it coming. So I am going to take this pocket and position it here. And do I want to do that one? Or do I want to do it here? Yep, I like that. I'm happy with it. It sits nice. Okay, so I'm going to glue these tabs, and then I'm going to position this one right in the corner. And I did this one to be like a pocket in a folder. So it doesn't have the side here. That way you could put something bigger in the pocket. So I left this side open. Okay, set it. Make sure that folds. Okay. You just want to make sure that you're not putting the bottom all the way up against the crease at the bottom, because then it won't fold back in properly. Okay. And the same with this little pocket here. And I'm going to position it in the corner like so. Okay. So we've got our large pocket and our smaller pocket here. Made it have my grandson's birthday party. Aw, well, I didn't know it was his birthday. Will you tell him I said happy birthday? And I'm glad you made it, but I hope you didn't rush. I hope you didn't rush. Okay. All right. So the other one I'm going to do, it's going to be the same method as this one, but this one is going to be on this side. And don't be afraid to play with the paper, guys. Things evolve, and sometimes that also includes your vision for things. They evolve. And this has already evolved, of course, naturally, since I've started designing it. And I had kind of pre-designed the layout and where I wanted things to go. But things evolve sometimes, going from, a thought, an idea in your head to an actual physical project. And that's okay. His birthday is January 29th. No, it just got over. Okay. Well, that's good. So I'll have to remember that. It's the 29th. My mom's is the 27th. So that should be easy enough to remember. Okay. So with the smaller pocket here, glue in the tabs. And gluing it down. Okay. Okay. All right. So now we're going to keep on moving. So next we have our shorter flap here. I don't know. I think I like the blue. How it pops. And then maybe I could do this one here. I'll think on that. I do know that I want this one to go here, so we'll go ahead and glue that one down while we think about it. So I know there's some of you that are crafting along, but if you're not crafting along, what are you working on this weekend? What have you guys been up to? Hello, welcome. It's nice to have you here with us. Running the kids and prepping for today. Hope you already got Nick to work. Randy says, I'm cuddling in bed. It's so cold with electric blanket. Not used to this cold and oh yeah, I bet. It's cold. It's cold. I don't blame you a bit. You can snuggle up with that blanket for me too, Randy. This and more Valentines. Ooh. I can't wait to see. Colleen says, I'm making a bee journal for my aunt. I used Amazon packaging with the fabric cover, and I have tried. Oh, you did? That's awesome. That's so awesome, Colleen. She will love that. He is off today. Oh, well, good. Well, hopefully you're done with errands and you're in to relax. Yeah, you'll have to share it with us, Colleen. Can't wait to see it. I know it's beautiful. The stitching is not straight. I don't know many people that can straight stitch. You're crocheting your heart out, Desiree. I have 4 blanket commissions. Oh, wow, girl. Well, don't forget to take breaks and let your hands and your arms rest. I can't wait to see them. You crafty people. Colleen always makes beautiful things. Yes, she does. She certainly does. Okay. I don't know. Not just not too fond of those pockets there. Nope. So we're going to leave it. One pocket will be good. Okay. This folds down one more time. And I think we shall use these here. So what we can do is layer these just from the bottom. And we can do the big one, the straps, and then this one at the top. Yep. Much happier with that. That's what the folio is for, your crochet breaks. Well, hey, happy to help. And thank you. I appreciate that, Desiree. You are very welcome, Miss Colleen. Nancy says all the ladies do. It's so inspiring. You all are inspiring. Absolutely, 100%. Just realized I screwed up already. Glued the second flap on top. Glued the second flap on top. Oh, are you talking about this one? That's true. That's true, Nancy, but instead of onto bottom one, yes. Well, that's fine. fine. It is figure outable. Frustrating, of course, but it is figure outable. Okay. So these are going to be layered. So I'm trying to figure out where this one needs to start. So I'm going to take my pencil, because we're not going to see it, and I'm going to make a little mark on both sides. That way when I glue this down, I know where to stop. It is figure outable. That, I forget now whose kit it was, but it is one of my, I know we're getting sidetracked here for a second, but that's okay. I know you don't mind. It is one of my favorite spreads in my mini journal. I'll flip through it to find it. Where is it? There it is. It says everything is figure outable. And this was from a sheet of words. I would have to go way, way back to find out where I got it. But, and I have said that for a long time, and I've never heard anybody else say it. And it was in her words and phrases. And I was like, well, I have to get it. And of course, made a little spread with it. And some little pockets. But yeah, so everything is figure outable. It's figure outable. Isn't that cute? That's funny too. All right, back to our project. Okay. And if you guys are new here, don't be afraid to say hello in the chat. And if you're watching the replay, be sure to leave us a comment. And for the new people, our new friends, are you a journal maker, a crafter, scrapbooker, or are you a paper hoarder with good intentions? I mean, it's a good question. Okay, says, and I agree, definitely helps bring you back to happy from frustrated. Sometimes it does, sometimes. It does. All the above. She said all the above. Me too, girl. Me too. Especially that last part. I mean, I buy paper, good intentions. You know, it happens. Some of it I do hoard with reason. because I'm like, eventually I'll have the perfect project for it. Some of it, you know, you just buy it and hoard it because it's pretty. Nancy, not new, but all the above. You started scanning everything. It's smart. It's smart. Especially, you know, your little makes, like your collages, your clusters, master boards. I know that Desiree taught me that, and it's smart. And I'll thank you again. All right, I got another question for you guys. Do you prefer folios, smaller projects like what we're making, or do you prefer full journal, or do you like about an even amount of both? You know, I feel like for me, it just depends on what's going on, you know, in my head. Sometimes I don't have, you know, capacity for a full on big project. And then sometimes I can muster up, you know, to do something small. But I want to hear from you guys. Or do you have a preference? Do you love it all? Love both. Again, all of the above. Julie said, I love both. Dean said, I like one big project and many small at the same time. She says, bring it on. Bring it on. I love that, Deneen. I love that. Desiree says, all of the above. Colleen says, I like both too. Well, good. Then you guys are, you already know, you're in the right place. My chaotic life. Oh, yeah, I get you. Haley says, I have 5 books still to finish. I'm actually proud of myself. All the journals and stuff from last year, what hasn't sold, they're finished. The only one that is not 100% complete, which is my personal journal. So you'll get there, Miss Haley. Nancy says, and I call Desiree the Folio Queen because she's got them down to an artsy science and always gorgeous. She does. She's very talented. But this is my first full year. Yes, it is. It sure is, love. Okay, so we've got our 3 pockets here. I don't think I'm gonna put any pockets on this one. at this time. I'm not sure what I'm going to do there just yet. Actually, no, actually, I do know. These are over here hiding underneath things. So these are a part of the kit. And I know there are some that's not too keen on just the Valentine's Day. So I did add a little bit of Galentine for you, Miss Deneen, in here. So I think these I'm going to do here. And what I'm going to do is just take a couple of the papers and I'm going to make them about the same width. You know what? I may even do them. Nope. So I'm just going to make them the same width as this. And I'm just going to do little belly bands big enough so that these can slide right down into those belly bands. Okay, so you've got things I love about me, and then you open up underneath and you have journaling space. Hello, Miss Bria. Welcome in, love. You are welcome, Deneen. So we've got through the seasons, you're my best friend, forever friends, things I love about you, remember when, we've got sealed with love, favorite memories, what I've overcome, then and now, all the laughs, and then our love story. So you guys can use a few, use all. That's totally up to you. Okay. So let me fold this. Well, we're going to try to get it to sit somehow. There we go. It works. It's figure outable. Okay. So I'm just going to line this up on one side, and then I'm just gonna make a little mark so the little excess that we need to cut off there. Stay. Okay. Well, I'm glad you do. All right, so we've got the width where we want it. So I'm gonna do 1-inch strips. There's 3. All right, so I got 5 strips. I'm gonna turn it sideways. So really quickly, I'm taking the color Worn Lipstick, and I'm just going to go over the edge of these. All right, y'all ready for another question? What is your favorite thing to collect for your journals? Like, do you like paper, fabric, ephemera, and then what are your favorite items that you collect? So if you love collecting paper, like, is there a specific style and stuff that you look for, that you're drawn more to? I love collecting vintage buttons. I love buttons. I'll probably never in a million years use all the buttons in my journals, but I love collecting them. I love looking through them and organizing them. I love buttons. I love paper and all the other stuff, but I love buttons. Britt likes paper. Hello, welcome in. I do not want to butcher your name, dear. So I won't even try. But welcome in. Colleen loves stickers. Britt's cut Winnie the Pooh paper. Oh, girl. That reminds me. I've got to send it to you. I just seen some new molds that were just released for Winnie the Pooh, and you will love them. Remind me to send that to you later. Desiree says all the things. Randy, you love antique ephemera. I do too. I do too. Especially vintage postcards, holiday cards, portraits, stuff like that, and recipe cards. Love it, love it, love it. Julie Bending loves paper. Haley likes graphic 45 paper and charms. Really everything, Julie says. Yeah, I know. There's a lot, guys. I enjoy collecting it all. But I do think buttons would have to be my favorite thing. What's wrong, love? Is there a reason? So the colors that I did use inking the pages, because I think I forgot to tell you guys earlier. You just seen the Worn Lipstick. I used Victorian Velvet Fired Brick, which is like a really pretty red, but it's not too bright. And then I used Broken China for the blue. Yes, I love what you mentioned, and calling cards and lace. Oh, yes. Yes, yes, yes. With the lace and the calling cards. I totally agree, Randy. Haley says, I'm getting into stamps and love die cuts. Oh, I love die cuts and stamps. Deneen says anything vintage, also cabinet cards and ads and invoices. Oh, that's awesome. And Nancy says obsessed with Graphic 45 as well. I didn't know you were. Yeah, the live is not in Discord. It's here on YouTube. It's on the YouTube. Okay. So I'm going to glue this one down first. Do you, Randy? Yeah, I would say you guys do. It's just it was a good idea, and I'd say we'll do things every once in a while in Discord, in our Discord community, but definitely a lot less glitches. I thought for sure, love, my message that I sent you said YouTube. Okay. All right. Trying to figure out the spacing. Yeah, I know it is. I'm sorry, love. I hate that you missed it, but I'm glad there's a replay. And if you need any help or anything, you can always call me. Let me see if I can slide these all the way down. Okay. I feel like that spacing is pretty good. And when I'm gluing these, I'm trying to make sure I get stick as close to the edge as possible. That way there's plenty of space to slide your journal props in and out. Whoops. Okay. Deneen says, who is already looking through the laces and trims? I can't control myself. I already did that. I was doing that yesterday. And I went ahead and dyed some of them. In preparation. So, totally understand. Haley says, I've been saving a bin since Thursday. She said, knew it. Knew it. I knew it. Okay. So I thought I might be able to get 5. And not really. But 4 is good. And maybe we can fit another one in another area. So let's do our love story. Then we'll do all the laughs. Then I'm going to do then and now. And let's see. Oh, and cute little bit of information. This font here that I used, Things I Love About You, this is actually my font. It is the first font that I have ever designed. The process was a lot easier than what I originally expected it to be. So I definitely think maybe this year I will try to add in and do a couple of more original fonts. This is called Font Feverish. And if you guys do anything where you're typing or creating online, whether it be in Photoshop, Procreate, Canva, etc., etc., if you guys would be interested in that font, just let me know, and I would be happy to share my font with you. So, Things I Love About You, Forever Friends, You're My Best Friend. There it is. What do you use to dye lace? Randy, it differs. For the most part, I use Rit dye. Some people prefer the powder over the liquid. I prefer the liquid. And then sometimes I use my sprays, you know, the Timmy sprays. Tie-dye, any kind of stain or anything like that will absolutely work. So to get these pinks, this pretty pink, like I did here. All of these are with the same color. So it also depends on the material and how well it takes color. So this was a very bright color, as you can see. It's tie-dye spray, and it is pink rose. So this one, if I had let it soak longer, it probably would have soaked up more color. But I like that it has some variation. And this one, very similar. It depends on the material. This I love. I love how this turned out on the seam binding because it does really have the tie-dye effect. Here is on applique. So you can see that the outside edges definitely soaked up more than the center, but I didn't let it soak very long. And then we've got some cheesecloth. Okay. So when I did this yesterday, Randy, all I did was I took a little bit of water in a Ziploc bag, and I just went through and picked little pieces here and there, and I put them all in the Ziploc bag with the water, and then I just started to spray this in and squishing the bag around, squishing the fabric around, and letting it soak it up. And then I used gloves, of course, because I didn't want to have rosy palms for our YouTube live today. So I used some gloves, and I try to wring out as much as I can of the water. And I have an old bookshelf that I turned into, I use it now as a drying rack for fabrics. So I squeeze as much water and stuff out as I can, and then I hang it up and let it air dry. With the RIT dye, I usually use a plastic pan, you know, little bucket. Pretty sure I got it from Dollar Tree. And I fill it, depending on how much I'm doing, I usually do a couple inches with hot water. And then I do a little bit, just a little bit of distilled vinegar. And with the hot water as well. And then I'll let it soak. I usually do about 15 minutes. And I just do a big batch. I'll do fabric, lace, trims, whatever. And then I'll pull it out and see how saturated. So if it's still very light in color, obviously I'll leave it in there longer. But if the color is kind of what I'm going for, then I'll pull it out, wring out some of the water, and then let it dry. Randy, you can also use any water-based dye ink as well. Yes. Yes. Hello, love. Okay. All right. back to our folio. So now we've got okay. We've got those. We've got most of our pockets. Okay. So now our middle section folds up, and we can fold this over. Okay. So we took our flap down and we folded it up and it's back in the middle. And then that section on the right, we folded it in. So that is where we're at if you're crafting along. He said, okay, thanks for explaining. Does the vinegar help set the lace with color? Yes, it does. Some fabrics are a little bit more resistant to the dye, and I have found that adding a little bit of the distilled vinegar or cleaning vinegar, depending on what you guys call it really does help. And I also do the vinegar when I'm dyeing paper, especially like coffee dyed or tea dyed paper. Because I've heard some people don't like the smell of the coffee dyed paper, and things like that. So if you do the vinegar, it helps remove that smell as well. So all right. So for this section here, my plan is to do this one. And then we're going to do this one. And I'm going to slide it down just like we did when layering the other pockets. Just like that. Okay. It's going to go right there at the bottom. Okay. So I'm going to pull that off at the bottom. And again, I'm just going to make 2 pencil marks. That way when I glue this down, I know where the bottom of the pocket needs to rest. Okay. That side. All right. Okay. All right. So now we're going to go in, gluing the tabs of this pocket. Okay. And then this one is going to go lined up flush with the bottom. Okay. All right, so now we've got big pocket here and our pocket there. All right, so that is most of our folio. Okay, so we've got our flaps here. We've got a pocket here and here, large pocket here, and then two smaller pockets here because we glued down the center. And we've got pockets, pocket. This comes down, two more pockets, and we've got our pocket here. And then open this up. We've got three more layered pockets, and then our journaling. And over here, we've got all 5 pockets. Okay. So when it's all folded up, if we turn it on over to the back, okay. And there is a large envelope. It's light pink with white hearts on it. And so on the printable, it's like this. So it has the black outlines, and that is where you make your score marks. And I'm going to go ahead and glue the envelope together. And you do so by gluing your little tabs here at the side, on the left and on the right. Okay. And then this envelope, I'm going to glue right here. So if you don't want to glue it all the way down, you don't have to. This is what I'm doing with mine. So I'm going all along the left and right side and the bottom. I'm not going to go along the top because, again, that can be used as a hidden pocket. And then center it as best I can. Okay. Hello, welcome in, Bethany. It's nice to have you. Welcome in. Okay. I'm gonna get my from my drawer of goodies here. We've got all kinds of pretty little fussy cuts for decorations. There are journaling cards and stamps. We've got some smaller envelopes here, the coin envelopes. And I did also print on the back of those, so the inside is all pretty as well. So then we've got some smaller ones here. This pretty blue, and I did cream on the inside for the paper. But these are what I want. These bigger strips here. I'll leave those tabs in there for now. Okay, so basically what I wanted to grab are the smaller envelopes and these pieces here. So this one is the one I'm going to be working with. Okay. And it has a stitched look around the edges. Okay. This is going to be a Billy band. So trying to position it. And I'm just going to kind of fold it around the sides. That way I know where we need to fold it. And you can adjust it if you need to. And I'm going to, okay, this side needs to come in a little bit more. Not too much. Okay. And I'm going to do right about there. Okay. There's one more thing I forgot to grab out of here. So in here, there are some hearts. So there's pink and red. There's a solid red, and then there's red stripes. So if you didn't want to do the hearts, you could use your circles or any other shape that you may have laying around. And you will also need some cardstock, because we want to make these hearts a little bit thicker, a little bit sturdier. And I'm going to grab my beautiful brads from here. Because we are going to use some of our pretties, some of our pretty brads. And we are going to make some fasteners. Okay. And I'm not going to glue down the belly button. Not the belly button. The belly band. Oh my gosh. Oh. Well, that one's new. Never knew you could glue a belly button. Oh, jeez. Look over me, guys. Look over me. Oh, I worry about me sometimes. I mean, you can't imagine why. I'm not going to glue down the belly band just yet. Because when we get to that point, we're going to have to secure one of the hearts to the center. And it would be difficult to get in there to push the brad through if that's already secured in place. So let's see here. Is this one smaller? Not enough. But I like those layered like that. I'm going to grab the fired brick, and I'm going to need 2 of these pink hearts and 2 of the striped hearts. Okay. I'm just going to go around the edges and the fired brick on both. It says pleased. Bethany, that's a round belly band. Yeah, right. Right. Oh my gosh. He says, I hope you don't glue your belly button down. Yeah. I'm gonna try to avoid that if possible. Can't promise anything, but I'll try. Don't put glue in your belly button. But I hear castor oil is nice. I've heard that too. Never done it. I'm just, not much of a belly button person, It gets cleaned and that's about it. I'm glad, Miss Haley. We are very, very happy to have you here with us and feeling well enough to be here and participate and craft. Really makes my heart happy to see you back at your craft table. It does, it does, it does. Okay. I don't think I brought my scraps. Hold on, you guys. I gotta grab a scrap. If you have a scrap piece, doesn't really matter the thickness of cardstock, but I love this brown craft paper cardstock. And I am going to, actually, I'm going to turn it over. And I'm going to trace this heart. Okay. going to fold that in half. And I folded that so when you cut each heart, you'll be getting two. Like I said, we just want to add a little bit of thickness, and that is so that when we wrap our string around the heart, it's not going to be too flimsy, you know, to where it bends the paper up. Because if it's able to bend the paper, your string is not going to stay underneath it to be a closure. It will come unwrapped. So just doing this adds a little extra stability. Okay. So these two hearts, going to glue together, and then add some more glue, and then we're going to glue our pink heart right on top of that. And if it's not perfect, you see a little bit of the brown craft paper sticking out, that's fine. That's fine. Trim it up if you must, but leave it if you can. That's fine. With this project, we're focusing on process and not perfection. Okay. Again, more glue. Add your pink heart. Now we're going to take our little red striped heart, and we're going to glue that on top. Okay. I'm not gluing these together, but I am going to stack them, and I keep some type of foam close by for when I have to use my awl. So I'm going to go ahead and poke my hole through the hearts for our brad. Okay. Twisting, twisting, twisting back and forth. We need it wide enough to get the prongs of the brad through. Okay. All right, so now that we have our hearts, you're not going to want anything smaller than this, but your circle needs to be smaller than whatever your shape is going on top. And this circle punch here just so happens to be the perfect thing. And so I'm going to punch out six, 10. I have punched out 10 small circles. And we are going to layer these. I'm going to glue 5 of these on one, and then 5 on the other. This just adds as a little spacer between your paper and your heart. So that gives a little bit of space for your string to wrap around without putting so much pressure on your heart. Okay. So there we got one, and two, three, four, and 5. Okay. Now I'm going to grab my awl again and poking a hole through the center. Now we're going to do the same with the other one. Okay. All right, so we've got both hearts and our spacers. Okay, so let's measure the top here. So it's okay. All right. Doesn't have to be perfect, just as close to centered as you can get it. I'm actually going to bring this up. Okay, perfect. And or I guess we could center this one, couldn't we? All right. So now that we've got it marked for our holes, just go ahead and punch your hole through your paper. I'm going to take one of the spacers and glue it to the back of the heart. And if you need to make sure that it lines up, what you could do is do it on your awl. Okay. Okay. So do I want to use the little pink ones or the pearls? And I think I'm going to go with the pearls. Okay. So I'm going to start with this one here at the top. Push in the brad through, and then through your hole in the paper. And mash it. I looked at that paper collection. Yes. All right. Cute, cute, cute. Okay. So now we're going to do the same with the other side. You're going to add glue to your spacer because it needs to be glued to the back of the heart. Hold it for just a second. Okay. Grab the other brad. Push that through. And I'm going to push it through the paper. Okay. Now that we have our brad through there, I am going to use this scrap piece that I have here, and I'm going to punch out a circle. I'm not going to ink this one because it's not going to be visible, but I'm just going to glue this down over the back. So whatever you tuck inside the belly band won't get snagged on those. Okay. So now we're gonna glue into position our belly band. And then I'm gonna do the same thing on the underside of this envelope to cover up. Wondered if that was the one you got. Now I know for sure. Yes, it is. And I will definitely be getting more. Okay. So this one up here, I'm actually going to grab one of the circles from the kit. So I could do that one, or the mailbox, or a button. Let's do the little bird. Okay. We'll flip this around. And then I'm just going to glue that right over the top. It's the one, Colleen, I was telling you and Deneen about. So if one of you guys want to put that in the comment to answer Miss Colleen's question. Okay. Where's my string? What did I do with it? Now, I thought about using twine for this, but I forgot about this pretty pink yarn that I have, and I thought, oh, it's pink, it's fluffy, it's soft. So we're gonna use it. Okay. So this right here, when you tie this, that is one reason why you can use the spacers. So you can use a thicker string, and when you tie it, it's not going to put a lot of strain on that. I'm going to attempt to tie this one more time. And then I'll cut off the excess of this side. Okay. And now you can wrap it Isn't that so pretty? Or if you, then you could just wrap it around that one a couple of times. I may look around and see if I can find some type of charm or something I can tie to the end of this, or I may even use a bead or a button. The possibilities are endless. But have fun with it. Have fun with it. All right, so you've got your belly band and your envelope. You've got your mailbox on the front here. So you can take some of the hearts here, and I think this one right here, I'm just going to go ahead and ink it. Okay. And I'm going to ink the back of it because I'm going to glue it here. So I want the underside. I don't want to see that white. Okay. So we're going to glue, glue, glue. So you could glue on your little heart. And there you go. So you could stick it down in there sideways. You could even take this one and you could put it the other direction. There's all kinds of ways that you guys can stuff your pockets. Okay. All right, guys. I think that is pretty much good for today. Without it being, you know, an extremely long live. We've been on here since right about 3, so we're at 5:35. So that's about good, about 2.5 hours. So I thank you guys so much for being here and hanging out with me. So while we're wrapping things up, if you guys have any questions or anything that you would like to ask before we go, and like I said, the replay will be here. So you guys that are watching the replay, if you have any questions or you get confused about something or anything, don't hesitate to reach out. I am more than happy to help you guys in any possible way that I can. If you have enjoyed this, feel free to like the video and subscribe so you don't miss future videos and future lives. Deneen says, thank you so much. You are very welcome, Deneen. Nancy says, so lovely, Britt. Can't wait to finish adding to my base. Haley says, beautiful job. Thank you so much. Colleen, thank you. Loved watching and hanging out with you. Randy, thank you so much. Yes, thank you, Britt, for all the gorgeousness you give us to create with. Awesome hanging out with friends. Thank you guys so very much. You all are very welcome. And you're the reason why I do what I do. Okay. All right, guys. I love you all, and I will see you again for the next creative adventure. Thank you, Bethany. I am happy to hear that, love. I love you, my sweet crafty friends. Have a great rest of your weekend. I love you. Bye.